Yeehaw, indeed. You got it this time. Congratulations.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Jamie, hello, welcome, hello. This is Total Spotfest. For those of you not playing along, Jamie was trying to catch my the rollback to get something inappropriate, like instantaneously. I'm pretty good at shielding him, but man, he's on point tonight, boys. So
you might be fuzzy, but I can see through it.
I am fuzzy. Apologies for those of you watching. I have no idea what's going on with my camera. It is what it is. I'm gonna buy a new one. F it.
Your computer's drunk, dude.
Computer may be drunk. Who knows, right? Well, I've been cheating on it because I got a new laptop last week. I've been just playing with that the entire week. So it's like, you don't love me anymore, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of don't. But
before, your computer thought you were a 4, but now look at you. It's like you're a solid 8 for it now.
Now it's like it's begging. All right, that's Jamie. I'm JJ. That's Austin Reddick. We are coming back at you here. Hello and welcome, hello. For those of you first time joining us, this is Total Spotfest Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about all sorts of things wrestling. We got a lot to get to tonight. We had a go home show. We got a pay-per-view to preview. We got some trash talk to spit for our pick challenge. Local wrestling is going on. Boys, I'm so glad that none of us got swept away in tornadoes this week, although I don't know, did any of the twisters in the Midwest come close to you guys at all this week?
There was one about an hour northwest of us. It's about as close as that got.
Okay.
But as far as like Wichita proper, Monday night, we got about 2 hours of rain and about 3 minutes of hail. And that was it. Just missed us largely.
So I was at work on Monday, and the brunt of the storms here in Kansas City came during the day. So we got a lot of hail kind of out there. We had moved all the expensive cars under the awning, did all that, right? There's nobody at the dealership, so we were just, whatever, right? So me and my buddy, we were doing our daily like Wordle and bullshit, right? And I'm in the showroom that's like all glass because it's all Cadillac, right? And we're sitting there doing our New York Times games, and my general manager is kind of like has his head out the door over there, and we stand up because it is like watching a boss that go from level 1 to level 2, right? But for the weather was the boss, and it was IRL. We're like, oh shit, oh fuck. And then it was he locked the doors and told everybody to run because we got like 80-mile-an-hour straight line runs, and we all ran down to the service drive where there's the only like sub basement that we had. So it wasn't a tornado per se, but it definitely was not pleasant. Jamie, did anything hit you? Everything was north of you, I think, right?
Yeah, we got a little rain. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So not to detract us from wrestling too much, but I gotta know for my own curiosity. You work at a car dealership, a hailstorm blows through.
Yep.
How many cars on the lot take hail damage?
This time we didn't get any of the big hail. The big hail was all north of us, okay? And whenever there's a big storm coming, Jamie can attest to this, we take the expensive ones and put them as tucked away as we can, right? Line up the service drive, stick them under the patio, right? Do all that. If a big hailstorm comes, though, it's pretty much every car that's going to be out there, for the most part, will have a little bit of hail damage. That's why you hear advertised hail sale because, you cannot hide. We have 140 something Chevrolets and like 70 new Cadillacs plus our used cars.
Yeah,
right?
I figure you can't cover them all.
There's nowhere to put 350 cars. It's just you can't do that. So it's just gonna happen. That's what insurance is for, and you do all that shit. So. Yeah.
See, next time I need a vehicle, I'm waiting until a hailstorm. Because, like, I'll take a couple grand off for a few dents on it. I don't need
all right. So next time hail comes, I'm gonna set a truck aside for you and get you a nice little Silverado or something.
Let me know next time something gets damaged by hail. And, I might be in the market for a vehicle.
You're on. For those of you out there who want a hail truck, holler at your boy. For those of you who want to talk about some wrestling, holler at us at Total Spotfest on them internets. So, go home tonight, boys. Remember the days when AEW didn't know how to do a go home show? And it was just sort of like, do more wrestling.
If it wasn't for that opening.
They weren't that long ago. Like, it wasn't that long ago that they were not really killing it with the go-home shows. But I almost feel like AEW doesn't really need to sell you on their pay-per-views. That's a proven now. Like, that's like, the pay-per-views are going to be great regardless of the go-home. I almost have to say, though, tonight's go-home show was like the most WWE AEW show in quite some time. But it was still very good.
I'm with you. And Jamie, I second exactly what Austin said because I feel like nothing they did tonight needed to be done to sell me on anything. It was rehashing of rehashing and rehashing, which is fine. It's just,
Yeah. Here's the thing for me. One, I got more Mina on my TV, so I was very excited about that.
True that.
Secondly, Hanger's promo made that very salvageable. I think that's probably the best way I can put it. Because if it wasn't for, I will stand by this. If it wasn't for Hanger's promo, this is a terrible go home.
Okay. Well, we're just going to go straight through it. We're not going to bounce around tonight. We're going to go straight through. So they open up with the same thing they opened up with 2 weeks ago, and a variant of what they opened up with last week, which is something that we don't need, which is being sold, Hanger and Ospreay. And the whole time, the biggest thing I got from it is that Ospreay wants to close the pay-per-view, and Tony Khan said, okay. Now, Hanger's promo was good. I don't know. It's like, even with that though, I mean, both of them are fine. It's just like, again, does this even need to happen, Austin? Because you hear Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay, that's the end of the selling, right? That's the close right there.
Just tell me when and how much it's going to cost me. And yes, I'm in. That's all I need. It literally could have been Ospreay makes his entrance, Hanger makes his entrance, and then just puts up the graphic, Double or Nothing, this Sunday, $50, and then just cut to the next segment, because, like, you got me. I don't need any more than that.
So, tell us what you love so much about Hanger's promo, though, Jamie. Come on.
So, one thing about Hanger, especially lately, his promo work has been masterful. The fact that he was very honest, like, I've been in hell for the past 2 years, and was it got me? You know, like, I've won no titles. You know, like, it was the babyface of babyface promos. And we already knew he was going down the babyface line. He's already been showing it and doing, you know, walking that walk. But verbally, he hasn't really committed to it till today. And I agree with you guys to a point where I didn't need this. I absolutely didn't need this. But it did add a nice little layer of interest of Hanger's personal development, which we've all been very, very vested in at this point. So why not just give me the little extra nugget that I didn't necessarily need or want, but it ended up being really good. Kind of like Solo, not like Rogue One.
Still hating.
So here's the question for both of y'all: is Adam Hangman Page the best character in pro wrestling right now?
No.
In pro wrestling, no.
Who would you say is a better character in pro wrestling right now?
Tony Storm.
JJ. Yeah.
That's an
without hesitation.
I'd have to go. I think Tony Storm is a more entertaining character, but I think Hanger is just a better character. Like, as far as just storytelling and seeing the development of someone, Tony Storm's entertaining as shit, but, like, she is what she is. Like, she's been timeless. You really don't see much of a change. It's just always good. But to me, Hanger is the absolute best character in pro wrestling right now.
All right. Here,
like,
how about
week to week, match to match. Yeah.
How about rephrase that question with a gender thrown in there?
No, I
don't discriminate by gender, JJ. You might.
No.
And I would discourage that.
That's a slippery slope that I do not want to get on this channel.
Okay, all right. Touche.
But I will give you some kudos to that, because I will say this: he is the most complex character out there.
Yeah, I like that.
He's got depth. Yeah. He's got subtext. He's got it all. Like, he has got this journey that most people don't have. He is 2008 Randy Orton, who's just got all these layers to him. And I would agree to that sense, but, like, Tony Storm is just on a completely different level, in my opinion. Yeah.
That's right. So to me, with Hanger, everything that happens to him, whether it be a match, a backstage segment, an interaction, everything matters. And he carries that with him into the next thing. Like, he's just a fully complete character, the likes of which you don't really get in modern TV pro wrestling.
I will say this kind of along that level, along the lines there, because when you look at Adam Hangman Page, he is somebody who this is permeated since the company was founded, since before the company was founded. Let's be completely honest. So not only was like the first 2.5 years planned out for the big masterful run, with a wrench thrown in because of all the Dark Order stuff, because it was supposed to be him going through the Dark Order, with Brody Lee, and then he took over the Dark Order, sort of, but that was all like mapped out, right? And then since then, we complained about didn't know what to do when he got there, blah, 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 blah. But in a way, it was just a reset moment because it feels like long brush strokes when you're talking about Hangman Adam Page, right? People come up, people go down. We talk about the Acclaimed a lot. It's a good example, right? Get him up there. I don't know what to do. Bring him up, right? Long brushstrokes that have Hangman Page, and a lot of that's to his credit. I think a lot of that is, I think a little bit of knowing from those who are running things that, hey, we can mess around, we can play with stuff, we can do this, but this is our guy. You know, this is our Ric Flair, our Hulk Hogan, our John Cena, right? You know, I feel like there's a lot of that purposefully done. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, that's fair. That makes sense.
A question.
Okay. You want to ask Bono a question? Go for it.
With one Adam Hangman Page, what entrance music does he comes out to at Double or Nothing?
I don't think it matters.
His face music or his current heel music?
Good question.
What is Hangman Page? Is he a face or a heel?
He got a baby face promo.
I think he comes out to his current heel track. I think going forward from Double or Nothing, we probably get the old face music back, regardless of the outcome of the match. But I think he enters to his current heel music.
I'm going to say, and this is going to shock Jamie because I'm such a snob about this shit, but I don't think his music matters.
It matters.
That's fair too. It's good either way.
Yeah,
it
it's not that different when you're listening to it. And it's more about the presentation that goes along with it more than anything else. He no longer has him burning down Swerve's house on his entrance. That alone doesn't the music's whatever, right? It could be La Cucaracha for all I care, right? I mean, yeah.
So while we're still on this match,
okay,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm hypothesizing that he comes out to the heel music, and after he wins, they'll play his face music.
I was thinking that a few minutes ago, but it was going to lead me to the question I was about to ask. And not who do you think will win? Who do you want to win between these two? That's a hard one.
Well, both of those are hard questions. Let's be honest, okay? If there ever was a pick 'em,
that's why we're gonna who do you want to win? Because like we don't have to get into the picks just yet, but like who do you want to win this?
I mean, the way I look at it, because it's like this is a pick 'em moment no matter what, right? Because either one of these is going to be the person that's going to go against Moxley at All In, right? Going to be the person to dethrone Moxley at All In. Both of them are poised to be the guy in AEW, right? You know, to lead the hometown resurgence. I don't think there's a bad angle amongst them. With that being said, I feel like, you know, who do I want? I'm still going to go with Ospreay. I say that because I feel like you get this match at the pay-per-view already. You can run this back again if Ospreay is the champion a lot easier story-wise than you can if Hanger's the champion. That's why I mean, I don't know, Jamie, you try drowning in this pool for a second. Let those bodies hit the floor.
So betting odds have Ospreay as a heavy favorite.
Vegas.
Yeah. Well,
Dude,
hey,
that's why I'm saying, who do you want? Not who do you think is going to win.
well,
Who do you want?
there. Let me get there. I'm taking you on a journey
need
here.
to bring
This is
statistics into
storytelling.
this.
I'll go.
So again, Vegas has him as Osprey as a fairly heavy favorite, negative 350 to plus 225. So
It's not overwhelming,
That's-
but it's pretty
that's
solid.
pretty big. I mean, it's not huge, but it's big. It's a 78% chance of winning is what they're saying.
Right.
Do I want him to win? Do I want him to be the face of AEW? He already is. Does he need a belt? No. Oh man, this is I want Hanger. I really want Hanger. I think his story and his character arc is second to one, but he is by far and away the best male talent they have in that aspect. And he's always been their golden boy. So just ride it.
Austin, who do you want to win? Mr. I ask the questions.
So, just going strictly off who I would rather like to see win, I would have to agree with Jamie and go with Hanger. I think Hanger getting that title again at All In would be a great moment, great story. He is the main character of AEW. As far as who I think will win, it'll be up until the last minute when I submit picks, and I'll probably end up flipping a coin because I have no idea between the two. But if it was up to me, I would like to see Hanger win this.
I mean, I will say they did make the announcement over the weekend. This was announced later, but whatever. They didn't announce, or not over the weekend, but they recently that All Out this year for the first time is changing venue. All Out, no longer in Chicago, Toronto. I feel like that's going to be a ridiculously massive, super pumped show. Toronto's a great wrestling city, right? Does Hanger Swerve just scream All Out to you? Or Osprey and whoever the hell ever, right?
But All Out, when is All Out? Because that's not until like
September
September
20th.
September, yeah. So there's time and all kinds of stuff to get there.
I know. And my thought is because if you have Hanger win, I don't think you jump immediately to Swerve, right? I think you put that on one of your signature. And this is, Tony Khan wants All Out to be massive. And whether that's Osprey Omega or Hanger Swerve. Four.
Yeah.
You guys let us know. Put it down in the chat. Put it down in the comments.
I mean,
who do y'all want to see win?
Who do you
you're
want?
going to be in Canada.
Want?
Will Osprey versus one Kenny, by God, Omega.
I literally just said that, but yes.
I know.
It could be Omega. I think you have to go more legendary Canadian superstar, and we're gonna get Will Ospreay versus Evil Uno of the Dark Order. Probably not, but
Mike Bailey. He's Canadian. Very
the Pacers won, Logan said.
Oh, Pacers win. Hell yeah, I'm on the Pacers train now. Now that my Nuggets are out, I'm on the Pacers train.
I'm pro Pacers. I don't know. It's just you're not from New York. I just can't pull for a New York team.
Yeah, I'm very anti-New York too. But they've been playing really good ball. I watched that series against Celtic, and that was really damn good.
But I also grew up in Illinois when Michael Jordan was winning championships with the Bulls, and cheering for the Knicks just feels wrong. It just feels wrong.
That's fair.
All right, so I will say this last thing: Hangman is definitely the better beer drinker, 100%, without a question.
I would question that,
dude. He didn't. Ospreay didn't even try to drink the beer. He just kind of did like the whole like Steve Austin on it, where Hager then grabs the beer and literally just chugs it, drinks it, and walks out.
I feel like that's all for show. I will just say I have never met better drinkers than people that grew up somewhere under the British Empire, whether they be Australians or the Irish or the UK, like any of them.
Well, Irish is
those people
still,
can
yeah.
Yeah.
Touche. Yeah, I think pretty good. We just beat the Irish.
Second one. That's so great.
So good.
Second reference to that movie tonight.
That's Beer Fest reference.
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen Beer
What
Fest?
an exquisitely placed movie quote.
That
was perfect.
It's like I'm Jamie over here. All right. So immediately cut to Moxley walking in from the outside, which I love. I love the single cam shots of them coming in, man.
Bex?
I love it. Ooh, I remember my first beer. All right.
Yeah. See, now I'm gonna be quoting Beer Fest.
We could do this all night, y'all. Walking in, and he goes, "The spoils will go to those who embrace the anarchy," which leads into Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Hobbs, Joe, and Swerve. You're very prototypical, hey, a bunch of these guys are in the main event, let's throw a mixture of them together match, which was fun and good and very, to Jamie's point, go homey WWE style, right? Which in a good way. And yeah, it was a fine match. I don't think there was any match tonight that I say was a great, like just barn buster, right? Hell, there was only 3 matches, for God's sake.
It was light on the wrestling.
3.
But this one was pretty long.
This one went pretty long. Yeah. And Joe, afterwards, of course, they fight a little bit. Here's Shibata. Oh, Shibata's back, right? And Joe's not a sane man. He's there. They're gonna beat up the Bucks and the Death Riders tonight. So there's that. Okay. Commercial break, come back. You got a Hurt Syndicate promo, which leads into MJF's official contract signing with lawyers into the Hurt Syndicate. And this was extremely long, drawn out for something. I was waiting for a shoe to drop somewhere. Either MJF do the double cross or Bob not sign it and they beat up MJF. But no, just pretty drawn out. And then you get who's going to challenge for the tag team titles? Everybody's favorite, Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. And yeah, they talked to each other for a little bit. This is when I wouldn't have made dinner. I'm not going to lie. I could care less. I'm sorry.
This segment was terrible. Can we just all agree?
I feel bad because I genuinely respect and appreciate Dustin Rhodes.
Right.
But this did absolutely nothing for me.
Especially when you have Sammy Guevara going, yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
I mean, the actual tag team saying nothing. MJF saying everything was about MJF. The longer this goes on, the more I agree with Austin that this is just a terrible idea of putting MJF in the Hurt Syndicate.
It's temporary. I'm calling it now. Wait, I've already called it.
We all know that. Yeah,
it's gotta be. But it's gotta be even more temporary. And by that I mean they should have swerved it tonight. Because you got no real payoff to, it was just, you've been building up MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate, and then he just kind of did tonight. And then you're also setting up this tag match that no one gives a shit about. It's just a bunch of things not hitting at the same time.
Oh, and you got MVP jumping with MJF to do like the cheap heat, make fun of the crowd thing, to try and get more heat on that. Whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing this in short order lead to Lashley and Shelton being a tag team on their own and MVP joining MJF.
I think we're overthinking this, man. Just cut MJF out. Either he turns on them, which is we all expect and it should happen, or they turn on him, one way or the other. Just her Syndicate's so good, you don't need any of this.
So
that's why I would rather see MVP get with MJF, and then let's split the Hurt Syndicate off into their own babyface tag team because the crowd loves them as it is, and you don't really have top babyface tag teams. But yeah, it just none of this seems particularly interesting.
Like in the slightest, dude. Like it's just I love the Hurt business. Like their aura, everything about them is fantastic. And this whole thing that they've been doing with MJF is literally stab my eyeballs out. Please. Like, please. The whole thumb thing, like, oh, I don't know, and how it drug on for like 4 weeks. And then all of a sudden,
we're
going to finally accept him. And then still I don't know if I'm going to sign it. And then he signs it. It's like, just have Cedric Alexander show up. He even hinted at an indie show that, he even said, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I hurt people, so he already teased it. So let's just do it and get MJF over there with FTR, and then the Pinnacle returns and call it a day. Maybe bring back War Daddy. Who knows? Just something.
Do something, man. Do something.
There's limits, Jamie. Settle down, okay?
Oh, bad.
All right, Okada got a real quick little promo where he doesn't get called out. He does the calling out. So he calls out Speedball Mike Bailey, challenges him to a match. Fun match going to be happening at the pay-per-view. Let's go. Continental title on the line. Speedball getting another pay-per-view match. Fantastic. Which leads us into match number 2 of the evening, the War for Scissors. Anthony Bowens versus Ricochet.
I gotta say, I like just the general idea and concept of Anthony Bowens, the scissoring guy, against Ricochet, the guy that stabs folks with scissors. Like, that's just kind of a fun little thing.
And how they brought it up 6 times during the match was also absolutely great.
Yeah, and incorporated scissors into the finish. Like, but Anthony's been doing great work. It's good to see him. Ricochet's doing the Lord's work, and it's always fantastic to see him. He's in a stretcher match, which, okay, so from what I understand, him and Mark Briscoe, you have to get the person on a stretcher, get him into an ambulance, and close the door, right?
Or is that that's an ambulance match?
Yeah,
that is what
historically a stretcher match. Oh, go ahead.
Historically a stretcher match.
You gotta push them past the finish line. This is up there in the top echelon of dumbass gimmick matches. Because like historically, you strap to the stretcher, you just gotta push them over a little line, and it's just anticlimactic.
Well,
that's what this is, yeah.
Ian Riccaboni said during the broadcast tonight that because at the end, out comes Mark Briscoe with the stretcher, and he's going to do a frog splash, and then Ricochet runs away. He said that the goal of the match, again, I'm just going on what I heard on my television this evening, is to put the opponent on the stretcher, get him into an ambulance, and close the door.
That's an ambulance match.
I don't disagree with that statement in the least, JB.
Stretcher match has that dumb finish line.
That's what I heard.
That's better than the dumb finish line. But
no, it's better. But
this match,
I think that you were saying different things. Jamie's not saying that's better or worse. Jamie's saying that's not what a stretcher match is.
Oh, both of them suck. Like, just don't get twisted.
You know what gimmick this match needed instead?
Don't say Paul.
Let's put a pair of scissors up on a pole.
I will turn this podcast around
make that happen
right now. God.
You know, there's not too many gimmick matches that truly beat on a pole match, you know?
For being bad? Well, this one might. We don't know.
I will take
we had
over a stretcher match any day.
We had March Madness, Jamie. This has been resolved.
I was the only one who voted for it because I knew it was better. It's superior in every way.
You're trying to troll me. Shut up.
You know what? It's better than Mason Rudolph. I do know that.
Fuck. I mean, my left pinky toe is better than Mason Rudolph. But hey, as long as it gets us a quarterback next year, I'll take it.
It's better than standing over a guy who rushes for 62 yards a game, and it's like a big accomplishment. 62 yards.
I cannot wait till the Chiefs come crashing back to the earth. It's going to be so.
That's
good.
fine. See you in 10 years. Then we can talk about it.
You know, you say that, Jamie, but I feel like when the Chiefs come back down, they're just going to be down for a long time. The Steelers,
they'll be back to the dark ages. It'll be right back to the dark ages, and I'm fine with that.
Steelers are just
in that moment.
This is our low time. This is level just mediocrity, right? You know, we don't go all the way down. Unfortunately, because we could never go all the way back up now.
500 is the floor,
right? And you're talking to the man who's going to be living out in Birdland, not too distant future. So, will he convert to be an Eagles fan? We shall see.
No,
I can only tell you, no.
Okay, all right.
I can't become an Eagles fan.
Well, I mean, according to logic, you should be. That's what everybody tells me why I should be a Chiefs fan. If you live there, you should be that.
Here. You were never around Pittsburgh.
By that estimation, I should be either a Bears or Packers fan.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, be a Bears fan.
Nah.
Jump on the wagon with me and the wife.
Man, I can make my own choices. Regionality is not necessary for fandom in the NFL. Let's get back to wrestling, shall we? All right. Yeah. We're not even at fucking training camp, and Jamie's already throwing shade.
What I do.
For what it's worth,
about me.
You have two. Trust me, I know. I know more than most. You are going to get Ricochet. You get two charismatic guys. There'll be a good change of pace match for the pay-per-view, which is good. Okay. FTR had a real quick promo. Excuse me. Stokely Hathaway had a real quick promo. Do you enjoy Stokely being the sole voice for FTR? Because they are good talkers.
He's not the sole. I enjoy Stokely being their voice. I don't enjoy what they're doing. I like Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. I don't want to see this match. Like, I don't care.
How can I have a counterpoint that actually sounds real?
I don't think you can.
I don't think I got one for this one, boys. Yeah. No, Stokely Hathaway just talking is great. And like his little dig at Nigel and Daddy Magic, you know, the bitch ass, like that was just absolutely great. I enjoy that. I think that's actually a fun, different style manager and team dynamic. It would be crazy, like say I was the manager of one Austin Reddick, because like he can talk, he doesn't need anybody to talk for him, but then he had somebody smart ass like me. It's just fun. It'd just be great. But what they're doing with Nigel McGuinness and Danny Garcia is like the dumbest thing maybe of all time.
You know what?
MJF and Hart Syndicate, of course.
This should be the ambulance match. FTR have been trying to break Nigel McGuinness's neck. They've been trying to break Daniel Garcia's match. This should be your ambulance match.
Yeah. I don't know why Ricochet. I missed something on Collision. I must have missed that segment somewhere where a stretcher is even playing into Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. Why?
Are you feeling a little blurry about it? Can't really see that.
You can't see. There's look at my peachy fuzz. All right.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Austin, do you miss Dead Tired, Jamie? Because I kind of do at this moment.
I'm enjoying spicy Jamie.
Spicy. That's the spicy Jamie meatball.
It's an FWO thing. You wouldn't get it.
Go fuck yourselves. All right. Mercedes Moné and Jamie, the Mystery Machine hater, I had a little sit down. I mean, I don't know how much more do we need to build this match for, right? You know, kind of same thing. I think Jamie gave a decent promo, right? She's not the best promo worker, but she got some oomph to her, right? Mercedes gave a very Mercedes promo, and it was what you expected. There's a couple little jabs at the end there, and then led to fisticuffs, and sure. Again, whatever. I feel like it's just so obvious they're going to go with Mercedes. It's hard for me to get invested, even though I want, to answer your question, Austin, I want Jamie to win. Yes.
So this segment should have been a match, not between the two of them, but we should have gotten Jamie Hayter trucking somebody in a solid 3 to 4 minutes. Mercedes coming out on the stage with the mic, and then just getting a quick promo back and forth. I don't think we've seen enough of Jamie Hayter wrestling on Dynamite.
Nope.
Over the last month or two. I think this would have been a good spot to just, hey, reminder, if you haven't watched in a while, this is what Jamie Hayter does. I don't need them just talking at each other.
I think the only reason they did this was just so Mercedes could wear that outfit. There was no other value, and by the way, that's called Nickelodeon chic. Yeah, busted out all the references. If you guys got that one, put it in the comments. But this did nothing. I already wanted to watch this match because I know it's going to be a really good wrestling match. Right now, fun fact, Mercedes is a slight favorite, not a glowing, humongous favorite. It's about a 60% tied to her, so that's pretty damn close. I would love to see Jamie win this. I think Jamie and Tony could be great. Now, if it was pre-injury Jamie and not I want to be riding on the Mystery Machine Jamie, yeah. I'm in on that. What this is I'm not. I'm out. I'm so out on whatever she's doing.
I actually read an interview that talked about that. I don't know if it was Chris Van Fleet or who. I don't remember who it was, but she actually talked about that. And they asked her about this and her style and the gimmick and all this. And he goes, "That's just kind of what I'm into." It was 100% her choice. She said in her rehab, she got really big into listening to like Doors and all that, like like late 60s, early 70s psych rock, and stuff like that. And she was just kind of feeling the counterculture vibes and she wanted to do it. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. I still think it's weird, especially because what we knew of Jamie was so different. And I know that it shouldn't matter, Austin. You talk about it's just clothes. It is whatever. And her gimmick before wasn't really a gimmick. None of this has been a gimmick. It's just different clothes. But you do perceive somebody different when they come out in a thematic dress week after week.
And the problem is, like, I get that line of thought on her end of like, hey, I started getting into all this. It's just kind of me now. Okay, that's fine. But do more with it or don't do it at all. Because now you're just kind of showing up in bell bottoms and an ascot from time to time. But, like, give us more. If that's the direction she wanted to go, give us pre-tapes of her, like, I would like it's always like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story where he goes and like does acid with the Beatles in a tent somewhere. Like, give us some shit like that. Just go all in if you're gonna do it, or don't do it at all.
What Austin Reddick is saying, Jamie Hayter, is that you are in Albuquerque, find yourself some peyote and have a good ass time making some promos.
Yes. Go out to the desert.
Yeah.
Meet Jim Morrison.
Yeah. Go on a spirit walk and like fill us in on the story. And then I'm in. Like, I'd be 100% in for that.
Yep. I still think that I still believe, maybe I'm just drinking the haterade, but I feel like Jamie and Tony would still be a good story to tell because of the history that they have had, more than putting Mercedes up against Tony for all the belts and bullshit. You know, I just don't want to see it. I think that's a disservice to Tony, and B, a disservice to fucking all of us.
Yeah, I think it's far better to save Mercedes and Tony for when only one of them has a belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to do it with them both as champions. And Double or Nothing is the perfect time for Mercedes to just eat a loss. Her titles aren't on the line. You could build it to Tony and Jamie it all in, and you can build to Mercedes and Athena, which people want to see for the TBS title.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I've still got hope that we don't get Tony and Mercedes it all in. It's very possible, but AEW has earned the benefit of the doubt that they might not go in that direction where you're like, please don't do that. So I'm hoping.
Mark Shirakawa's stamp of approval. Jamie Hayter's going to win. Call it now.
All right.
Call him a shot.
Jamie did end with, before they got into the fisticuffs, that she thinks that Mercedes' destiny is to lose everything. To get my gears turning a little bit, that I love that thought process, right? She actually straight up loses. No Athena. She straight up loses to Jamie. Then Athena happens. Then they do that, and Athena takes the belt off her. And then she goes to All Out, or she goes to Forbidden Door London. She loses the Rev Pro title. And then, and then we get crazy Mercedes Moné. That's an angle you could play with. Just my two thoughts, but 2 cents, Tony.
That's a much more enjoyable path forward than just Mercedes just keeps beating everybody, but it's still the bad guy. Okay. And yeah, I think if Jamie Hayter is winning, it should be clean, because you need to fire Jamie Hayter back up a little bit if you're going to have her go challenge Tony at All In. Like, the history's there, but we haven't seen enough of Jamie Hayter since she returned to like really build her up where she should be and where she was before she left. And this is the time to do it. This is the perfect way to heat her up.
Yep.
Yeah, and rumor has it Camille is going to be a Double or Nothing too. So I could see her showing up after the match. Like, if Mercedes just loses her mind, goes and attacks her, Camille shows up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a lot to play with there. A lot of different ways you can go with that post match. But being that this only had 3 matches tonight, it is time to get to the main event of Dynamite, and it featured, of course, Tony Storm on commentary. Somewhat of a little bit of a surprising main event, but not really. Because you're building up to your other, match a little bit too, and your other major character you got, right? So you got Mina Shirakawa versus Julia Hart. Kind of out of nowhere, but okay, cool, right? More Mina on your TV, Said, Julia was super over, and she's doing her run on the TBS, so they're trying to get her back up, which I think is all depth in the women's division is always good, right? So this is a pretty fun match, It wasn't the greatest of matches, I think, for either Mina or Julia, but hey, they got a main event Dynamite. Let's go.
Interesting spot for this match to be in the main event for the go home show.
Yeah.
Like, And granted, like we'll get to, there was more after this match unrelated to it. So they did kind of close with like their bigger things. But during this match, I was just sitting there thinking like it's real weird that the main event of the go home is the challenger to a title match and someone that's not on the show at all. But we got capped off with some other stuff, so it was fine. But yeah, the match was fine. It was fun. I don't know what more there is to say about that. Like Tony and Mina, it got to be a good time. But like, this was a match that closed out the go home Dynamite, I guess.
Well, allow me to speak a little bit on this match, gentlemen. We got Mina Shirakawa on our television, as you said, and that's good enough for me. I will say this. She came out to a mediocre reception. I think it's fair. They brought back her old music, which I thought was good, but she did an excellent job of winning that crowd over. Just being Mina. Again, like we've talked about just so much about her. She has it. She put it on display tonight. So it was very good for her on her character development because the crowd got behind her. They were cheering. And she got the crowd revved up. She is going to be a star in this women's division. It just sucks she has to almost be a sacrificial lamb. Because obviously the end game is not her, and it's going to be hopefully Jamie Hayter, and hopefully Mina Shirakawa is going to be in a thing with Thekla or a returning Mariah May.
That was, that's a good point, because that's the other thing about this match main eventing, what made it weird. Mina Shirakawa is not winning on Sunday. Like, that's just not in the realm of possibilities.
Everybody knows that.
What this match, I think it would have been better if this match was Mina and Mercedes against Tony and Jamie Hayter.
Oh, that'd have been way better.
I think that's a fun go home main event.
That's a
especially
makes a lot of go home
Tony's wrestling
sense.
The winner of Jamie Mercedes. Like, get them all in the ring together. That's way more interesting than what we got. And again, not that the match was bad; it was perfectly fine, but it was just a real weird spot for it.
It was weird, and I've been on record. I am a Julia Hart fan. I still am a Julia Hart fan. I think I just don't. Again, she's not. I don't know why is she in this match? Not because I don't think she should be in the match against Mina Shirakawa, right? It just for a main event on a go home show for someone who's not in the. It didn't make a lot of sense. And then afterwards, they do a little bit. They do a little bit of pulling out. Here's Sky Blue, and they're reunited, which is a good thing I think for both of those two. Let's be completely honest; those two together was pretty good, right? And then you got the little stare down, kind of teaming up, but then kind of stare down, and then Mina turns and is doing the figure four on Jamie, which none of that needed to happen, right? After she took the belt, they could have ended that segment right there and just could have gone away. They didn't need Mina putting a ring post figure four on Tony. I didn't understand why.
Yeah, and kind of to your point, like. It's cool Julia Hart was in this spot, and, like, good for her. But Mina beating Julia Hart doesn't make you any more confident she's got a chance of beating Toni Storm on Sunday. Like, this doesn't... Yeah. It's not like someone that you could beat where it's like, oh, well, shit, now maybe she is going to win the title. No, it's Julia Hart. Like, she's fine. She's been around. She was TBS champion, but, like, that's not elevating anybody. And, again, if she was going to put the figure four on Toni Storm afterwards anyway... Team her with the Mercedes against Tony and Jamie Hayter and, like, do that same thing afterwards. And now you've got something way more interesting in the ring. Just weird.
Just a little weird.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, but I get the point. You're trying to build some depth, trying to put it up there, so you're all set for. I mean, the night's over. Everybody's going home. Young Bucks are going home because they didn't get. Oh wait, they did get jumped by. So we had a pre-anarchy. Premature anarchy can happen. It happens to the best of us. It's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. They New Jacked the ending of the show too. Am I not mistaken?
I believe they did.
They totally did. I was wondering too. I was like, sitting there, I'm like, wait.
Did they New Jack the ending? They 100% did. With some, I don't even know what song that was. That was just some random song, you know, like house.
Yeah, I know
what it was.
It should have been to Mina's music, since Mina won that match. Like, her music still play, and then they all go brawl out, and all your Anarchy Arena folks are brawling to Mina Shirakawa's theme for like 10 straight minutes to end the show. I'd be down for that.
I don't know about you guys. I am most excited for Anarchy in the Arena. The part of Anarchy in the Arena I'm most excited for, is definitely Marina and Willow. Oh my God. I cannot wait for them to because they are not going to stick to just the two of them. I am so excited for that. Jamie, counterpoint?
I'm not too happy about this match.
The Anarchy or the way they ended the show?
No, the match.
Why?
It's missing two people.
For now. I got
why
faith.
is Wheeler Yuta in it? And why isn't mystery entrant in it? Of Eddie Kingston? Like, Gabe Kidd and Eddie Kingston need to be in this match. I need to see Eddie Kingston light some motherfucker on fire.
It's gonna happen. That's the surprise. You don't want to blow your whole load before the pay-per-view.
But at least put Gabe Kidd in the match and say that they have an extra. Like, make some fake suspense. Come on, man.
So, because I had a similar thought of, I saw the match graphic for Double or Nothing. I was like, wait, why is Gabe Kidd not actually in the match? Like, what was the point of last week and him coming again tonight if he's not there? I've got faith that they're just it's a surprise thing and they're building it up. Because one, it's Anarchy in the Arena, so there's no rules. So you could have 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 advertised. It could end up being 10-on-10. It is Anarchy. It's literally in the name. Like, no rules. Anyone can show up.
Of the fucking match.
I mean, it's fair,
And
but
so
you know what?
I think a decent way is into the match. Gabe Kidd's going to get involved, and that's when we're going to get Eddie Kingston showing up.
Exactly. Because Gabe Kidd's not officially
If not,
here, so his coming out is just a thorn, right? He's a hired gun. And that brings out the ever venerable Edward Joseph Kingston.
You know what would make that even better is if Gabe Kidd shows up, because like you can't not have Gabe Kidd show up. With what you've been doing last 2 weeks, like he can't not show up at Anarchy in the Arena.
He's there. Yeah, he's there.
It would be funny if out of nowhere Hook just pops up, like he's gonna come even the odds. Then Eddie Kingston just trucks Hook and makes his way down to the ring and start kicking ass.
Boom, boom.
Eddie Kingston lights Hook on fire and then goes and joins the match.
Okay.
I would absolutely lose it for that. Please.
What if they decide to bring Hook as the surprise combatant against him? Will you break your TV, Jamie?
I will walk out. I will probably not watch the rest of the pay-per-view. But seriously, if they did that, I probably would not watch the rest of the pay-per-view.
Well, you gotta watch the main event. You know, you gotta come back.
No. I would just turn it off.
You would not come back for Hanger Ospreay.
No. I'll watch it later when I cool down.
Okay.
That'd get me hot. That'd get me so hot under the collar.
Austin is pondering because he knows very well that what I just said is an actual legitimate possibility.
And so is me not watching the rest of the pay-per-view.
Right?
Man, like,
I'm sorry I had to say it, but
please don't. Tony Khan, we don't ask you for much. And AEW delivers time and time and time again. I've yet to watch one of their pay-per-views and not turn it off and been like, that was well worth $50. I would want a refund if Hook showed up and said Eddie Kingston in this spot. I would be fine even if Eddie Kingston doesn't show up. Maybe he's not ready to return, but don't send Hook. Please don't send Hook. He doesn't need to be there. Please don't. Unless Hook shows up and then immediately gets choked out by Marina Shafir. I would pop for that. But even then, I would want my money back.
Yeah. Hook is not the answer to Gabe Kidd, ladies and gentlemen. But I mean, that was the thing. So, like I said, you got a little mini, gimmick match to end the thing, kind of. Like I said, a little premature anarchy. I'm for the chaos. I love the chaos. I'm excited to see what happens.
And there's still Collision tomorrow night, so this could still evolve a little bit more and get Gabe Kidd officially in, then leave a mystery partner. But I could also see them just saving Eddie as a surprise for during the match itself.
I mean, I think
that better get his entrance music.
I feel like his Gabe is not officially here, right? They're not going to officially put him on the card, but he's going to be in it. So we'll see.
We will see, but hopefully we won't see Hook because, just please don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
no
Hook would be literally like trading for an older wide receiver, thinking that's going to get you 3 extra wins. It's not, especially when you have Mason Rudolph thrown to him.
How'd the Super Bowl go last year for you guys?
At least we've been to one in the past decade.
I know. Yeah. Oh, it's been a little bit. We still have 6, total. So there's that.
Hey, KU fan, how's it feel?
Yeah. Pot
KU
kettle,
fan.
how you doing?
Yeah. You have it both ways, bud.
Says you.
What do you mean? I'm living the high life of championships.
We 6 greater than 4. I don't understand how you live in the high life of championships.
Well, I mean,
I was like, speaking of championships, really quick,
please.
I think this is the first pay-per-view, AEW pay-per-view in forever, where I cannot talk shit about guaranteeing of winning the picks title because I have no idea what's going to happen in any of these matches.
you come back home to daddy.
I mean,
this is going to be the hardest review to pick.
Come to me. That's right. I mean, well, first of all, you have 3 titles that are just buried by other stuff, right? You have the TBS title that's buried by something. You have the world title that's buried, You have the tag titles on the line. You have the women's world title, which is no chance in hell of leaving Toni Storm, okay? Continental titles out there, but let's be real, okay? I mean, but then you've got a lot of gray area. You talk about the Owens. You have Anarchy in the Arena. Because that's a crapshoot. Who knows, right? And whatever the hell the stretcher match is, because we don't know. We have no idea what the stretcher match means.
Half the card could go either way. But it is a pretty full double or nothing card. You've got a bunch of wrestling. You got to go some gimmick matches. Speaking of gimmick matches, I recently watched a older pay-per-view with one of the most notable yet somehow also forgotten gimmick matches of all time. Recently, and I feel like I should share a little bit about that.
Can you please
panel here and our fans
shed that knowledge upon us, good sir? I'm trying to segue you into this.
I finally got the full stat back too.
You do.
Glorious.
I'm gonna try to segue you into this for the last 4 minutes. By the way, I was just.
I know.
I was like.
I was letting the football talk go on a little bit before we pivot back in the pro wrestling time machine.
That's okay.
Damn near 4 decades. Little less than that.
The IRL internet troll is going to be here no matter what. You just gotta kind of go past him.
So over the weekend, as I do frequently, I decided to throw on some older pro wrestling, and through the magic of the internet, I ended up on the Great American Bash 1988, the very first Great American Bash.
Ooh.
A show that I don't believe I had watched in its entirety in quite some time. And this one was notable for a few things. Flies under the radar, but kicks off with a phenomenal tag team match. You get Arn and Tully against Sting and Nikita Koloff. Which, for those of you who maybe didn't start watching wrestling till later, maybe haven't gone back and watched, Nikita Koloff has the best crazy eyes in the history of the business. Like, he just all the time. It's perfect. Also, Arn Anderson is the best bumper and seller that has ever existed. There's one point where Sting, and we largely remember Sting as like Crow Sting, even a little bit of Surfer Sting when he was going for the world title and stuff. 88 is still a pretty young and inexperienced Sting. And you see Arn doing the Lord's work out there, reeling him in, because Sting is all over the place. But there was one point where Sting comes out of nowhere and blindsides Arn with a bulldog. And Arn Anderson takes the most picture-perfect textbook face bump right in place to cover for it, and then sells his ass off. Just phenomenal. But this show is not remembered for that. It is remembered for one of the best dumb gimmick matches of all time. And I'm talking about the Tower of Doom, gentlemen.
I mean, this is a contender for next year's March Madness. It could be. You never know.
This is. And they did run this back several times, but they changed it up a bit because this first one, the whole premise, I want to know how hammered the booking committee was when they put this shit together. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar, the Tower of Doom is not just a cage match. It is 3 cages. You got a normal size one on the bottom, a slightly smaller one on top of that, and a very small one that looks about the size of an NHL penalty box on top of that. Now, if you hear 3-story cage match and your first thought is fuck yeah, I don't blame you, but wait, because there's a lot more to this than that. This is a masterclass in let's take something that started as a great idea and then just tack on bullshit until it makes absolutely no sense. So the Tower of Doom, on our babyface team, we got the Road Warriors, Dr. Death Steve Williams, and then Ron and Jimmy Garvin. You get 2 Garvins in there. Taking on the heel team of Al Perez, Ivan Koloff, Kevin Sullivan, Mike Rotunda, and the Russian Assassin. This is like classic pro wrestling as hell. You got a lot of flavors, characters, and gimmicks going on.
Except for Ivan Koloff, whose gimmick is Russian.
Yes. Yes, his gimmick, and you've got a Russian assassin with him as well. The way this match works is both teams are on opposite sides of the cage, on the ground level. Because you hear a triple 3-story cage match, you think you're fighting your way up, right? That would make the most sense.
Right.
But you would be wrong. Because in this match, there is a 25-foot, like the painter's ladder that just extends out instead of opens up. That they put against each side of the cage and they loosely tie it to the top. This looks like the most dangerous thing in the history of pro wrestling. And I have seen Darby Allin almost die 17 times. Even this, I was just like, where's OSHA and all this? This seems dangerous.
OSHA.
Where's OSHA? It starts with a member of each team scaling the ladder. There is no safety equipment because this is 1988, and these are men, goddammit. They are scaling this ladder, freestyling it. They climb up the ladder, and there's a door on either side of the little penalty box cage on top, and 2 guys start in. Brawling. First of all, they announce every 5 minutes someone's going in. It gets cut down to 2 immediately. Because the original way it's presented is every 5 minutes, another guy from each team at the same time scales the cage, gets in, starts fighting. But every 2 minutes, there is a trap door on the floor of that level of the cage that opens, but only for 10 seconds because they have to have 30 fucking rules in this match, so you have no idea what's going on at any point in time. Every 2 minutes, a trap door opens, and they did explicitly state it would be 5 minutes for the entrance. As soon as the match starts, they do the first buzzer for the trap door. 2 more guys get right in, and they're just like, we're rolling with this for the rest of it, whatever. Every 2 minutes, someone's getting in, and this trap door opens, but it's only open for 10 seconds. So if you can get through and no one else can, then I guess you're just safe underneath, which that's what you want in a gimmick match with cages, is people not fighting and just standing around for no reason. But the goal of the match is all 5 men on one team have to not only enter, but make their way all the way down to the ring in the lower cage. And then Precious, who is a manager at the time, if y'all aren't familiar, go watch some old Crockett, NWA, WCW. So Precious has the keys to the door in the ring, and she has to go unlock the door and let whatever gentleman's down there out. And once all 5 men on your team have made their way through the 10-second trap doors and left the ring, your team wins. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Maybe it'll still be good. Spoiler alert, it's not. So we start with Ronnie Garvin and Al Perez just brawling in the top cage. Ronnie Garvin makes his way to the bottom of the cage and out the door like 4 minutes into like as soon as those trap door opens, he's like, I'm done working for the evening. And he's just gone.
Yeah, I'll be back catering. Let's go.
All of the people leaving, there's never any drama or really fighting or like fighting to escape. It is literally just every time someone gets to the ring, they just peace out. They're just like, all right, open the door, please. And then they just stand on the side watching everyone else. So it is a lot of people just watching other people gingerly brawl around. Dr. Death gets some solid ass kicking in, which I do appreciate. It also looks like Dr. Death almost breaks his leg dropping from the second cage to the ring because he lands weird, his leg buckles, but he gets back up and he's fine. This entire thing is just built up, which the finish is the only fun part of the match. It comes down to the feud that built this up is Jimmy Garvin and Kevin Sullivan fighting. I guess Precious is Jimmy Garvin's girl, and Kevin Sullivan has been coming after her. So the finish of this match is the only notable part. You can skip the first like 20 minutes and just get to this. One of the most creative things I've seen done in pro wrestling in a long time. You get down, everyone else has left but Jimmy Garvin and Kevin Sullivan, and they're fighting, and Jimmy Garvin starts going to leave to win his team the match. Kevin Sullivan, because Precious is still in the ring because she's the door gatekeeper, Kevin Sullivan throws Jimmy Garvin out of the cage door to cost his team the match, and then closes the door and locks himself in there with Precious. So now we've got like some story. We've got something clever. We've got something cool. And you're like, all right, maybe we're onto something here. But then it's like 2 minutes of Kevin Sullivan just kind of chasing Precious around the ring while Jimmy Garvin and Road Warrior Hawk, for some fucking reason, just scale up the ladder, go down the trap doors. You just saw people spend 20 minutes trying to fight down in about 90 seconds and then just get in the ring and save Precious. And that is the end of the Tower of Doom. So if you've never seen it, you could go back and watch or just listen to my little recap because you're not missing much. I felt like that was worthy of discussing. But also on this show, I had never seen the main event of this show, which is Lex Luger and Ric Flair, NWA World Title, babyface Lex Luger, heel Ric Flair.
It's a good one.
I had completely forgotten, because I've seen the finish of this previously. I hadn't seen the whole match.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that SummerSlam 1993 is not the only time Lex Luger gets dicked out of a babyface title win. Yep. And it's just kind of real awkward for everybody. Because the finish of this match is Lex Luger gets busted open by the ring post in what was supposed to be buckets of blood, but clearly he gigs and it's just like a little blood. Like you could take a napkin and just dab that off if you needed to. He gets Flair in the torture rack. Flair gives up, and because we have to have a dusty finish, the ref comes up and announces, due to the excessive blood on Lex Luger, the State Athletic Commission has disqualified him and ruled him unfit to continue. So Ric Flair is your winner. Except we just saw Ric Flair tap out. Clearly, Lex Luger was able to continue because he just put a 260-pound man in the torture rack and broke his back. Like, that should be your champion. But the fact that Lex Luger, by the time they announce this, has the faintest little smear of blood on his forehead is one of the funniest things I've ever. This is up there with This is up there with the AEW exploding barbed wire death match where the explosions just didn't really go off while Eddie Kingston is sacrificing himself to save Mox. This is up there with boy, that did not go how you planned it finishes of all time. Great pay-per-view, great show. Give it a watch sometime, because outside of that, there's some really good wrestling, but there's some real silly bullshit on the show.
If you really want more proof that the 80s was made for Ric Flair, here you go. But my God, the Tower of Doom. Oh God, that's such a.
Didn't they repackage the Tower of Doom for Ready to Rumble?
They sure as shit did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Tower of Doom match when David Arquette won the title, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was.
I think though that they switched it around for David Arquette. Because for Ready to Rumble, they inverted it. They did because it's an actual tower. The goal was to go up it's a tower. So yes, they had to go up because I think it was either inside or above the third. You had to basically get yourself into the medium one, then into the top, and then there was like a ladder in there which you used then to go on top to get the belt. Was it from Ready to Rumble?
Yeah. They also did the Tower of Doom at least one other time. Because I remember, I want to say it was around 96. It was like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage versus the entire heel roster. It was like 15-on-2. And of course, Hulk Hogan and Savage won in the 3-story cage.
Mega powers.
Oh, WCW. Never change. I mean, you can't because you've been dead for 25 years, but never change.
A fantastic stash of knowledge. Yeah, nothing like a tower that you fall down.
Weird.
And like literally the way to win the match is just get the fuck out of there as quick as possible, which like why do you want I don't want you leaving the cage. I want you fighting in the cage.
Well, hopefully we don't have that big of shenanigans coming, but pay-per-view is on Sunday. We will have our picks as always. JJ will find a way to either totally upset it, which will not be talked about by anybody on here because that's the gimmick that they're going with, or I'll like lose in a tiebreaker and then it'll be like the greatest like beatdown that has ever been, because that's also the gimmick that goes on here apparently. So
I'm so sorry.
Tell me when I'm lying.
Draft this card.
Tell me when I'm lying.
Okay. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when you're lying. Who's one more? Yeah, that's right.
Just the stillness JJ has right now.
I know.
Building that rage.
I know he has one more.
You were trying to use math against me earlier, so allow me to use some math for you.
Okay, very well. Who has one more? You have.
Yeah.
I think Megan's won the most, actually, technically.
Yeah, actually, I've won the most of that belt. The belt.
Okay.
The belt.
All time though is Megan.
All time, my progeny, of course, is the best. Which I'm very, very happy that I have grown that. But I've won over the past 17 months. 17 months, I think it's 17 months. This will be the 18th month. So this month will be the 18th month. I've won 12.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. It's fun too. If you want to do just a little bit more of math. You're trying to say 6 is greater than 4. That's absolutely correct. But you know it's also greater than that? You know it's greater than 2? 15.
Math is math, and math does work out.
No, you're wrong. I just went over this. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage beat 15 heels in the Tower of Doom.
Yes,
I set you up for
yes!
that. Yes.
There we go. All right. Well, we will have next week's results of that. Fantastic. All right. That's a callback, ladies and gentlemen. That's a callback. All right. So, pay-per-view coming up. We will have the details about all our picks and everything. We already talked about the pay-per-view pretty much ad nauseum here. So, we don't necessarily. I don't think we need to do a paper preview. It's going to be another AEW pay-per-view. It's going to be bangers. Ending with. Now, the big questions are, do we get Eddie Kingston back? Do we get Thekla showing up, right? And I'm just amped.
Yes and yes.
I'm so amped to see that final match, man. Ospreay Hanger, let's go. It's going to, I think better go at least 30. At least.
Wait.
Better.
I'm out. I just my few remaining brain cells just started.
Okay. We're
crossing, started firing up. So I this just dawned on me, and I can't believe it didn't sooner.
Okay.
We have been talking about the inevitability of Tony Storm and Mercedes, but if it were to go in a different direction, obviously we get Jamie and Tony, but maybe it would be Athena and Mercedes. What if Thekla shows up to cost Mercedes? That's fun, different, new, and exciting.
And it would be Camille over Thekla.
No one wants to see Camille do anything.
Things.
I think what Austin's saying.
Like to see. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
No, go ahead.
I think what Austin's saying is that's the thought, right? Thekla has history with Mina, right? Mariah, she's involved too. There's a way you can kind of pull some angle, some bad girl gang, whatever, that all makes sense. What if we do something that doesn't make sense? What if we go the complete opposite direction? He's saying, because
it'd be fun.
Yeah. Because you can always work back to the other stuff. Like that's always there. That's not going away.
True.
But that's not necessarily what she has to do first. And if you're they've done the spider graphic coming down, she's coming. If you want to make an international star seem like a big deal, this would be a good way to do it. Instead of just being hey, she has history with them from this place. Okay, you filled us in, but you didn't wow us with something. I'm thinking there's a chance that happens. It's unlikely. I wouldn't put money on it, but that's probably what I would do if I was booking it.
That'd be cool.
I think that should be our bonus question.
Where's Thekla going to come in?
Where is Thekla coming?
All right, I'll do that.
That'd be a fun one.
All right, I'll make sure to incorporate that as the bonus question. So more details on that coming up next week. Before we get to Double or Nothing, there's even more wrestling going on. If you're here in the Kansas City metropolitan area, because we have the latest Fountain City Pro Show. Fountain City's over you. Let's go. This Friday night, doors at 6 o'clock, first bell at 7. Come join us a little early here on this here YouTube or Fountain City's socials, because once again, Jimmy and myself will be doing the pre-show. We have all new hardware all over the place. We are not going to have a technical. We got microphones. I got a brand new laptop. We are good to go. It's going to be a success.
Even light
you say
up
that and then the power goes out right as it starts.
Shut up, Austin. we got that. Yep. We got nice. We are not gonna have technical issues. This is gonna be the greatest pre-show that has ever been pre-showed before.
Pre-shown?
Should I bring the FWO belt?
No, you can do that at home. No, you don't need to bring that.
Yeah.
There's a limited visual space. Don't worry about that.
Only if you wear it around your waist for the entire pre-show, and when JJ's out looking, you have the camera just angled down right at the belt in your junk.
Yeah, wear around your waist, Jamie.
Yeah,
you have to wear it the whole time if you're going to bring it. That's the rule.
I mean, I've always been a big fan of if you bring a belt, you have to defend it.
Well, all right. So
we should make that an official rule for the Pick'em title, because then I'm gonna hand it over to Matt and roll him up.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
now, if you want to get in on
New
some
rule,
of this,
Matt. You just roll him up.
and how about we hear me out?
Megan would be so in on that too. By the way,
Hear me out. We keep doing this to Matt too. Just Matt. Just Matt. We're just fucking with him now.
I just thought about something. He's got as many wins this year as you do.
Yeah,
this year
he does. He does. Yeah. Hey, man. Quality, not quantity. So we were doing the pre-show. Come join us. It'll be if it's your first time here, hit the bell icon. If you subscribe, you'll know when we go live. You see the replay as well too. But we will be going live here on our YouTube as well as on the Fountain City Pro socials. And then if you are in town, please come and check us out. If you are not, that's not to worry. Fountain City will replay their stuff through their social medias and everything. They're still talking about potentially doing a live stream, but it's just easier to kind of get all bundled up, videoed, and then out there, right? You know, it's a package deal.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to worry about, live kerfluffles like we like to deal with. So, but it'll be a great time. One Mr. Austin Reddick will be wrestling there in a three-way match. Yep.
Trios match, not three-way. Trios.
Whatever. I say it every time.
Those are two very different things.
I know.
Ambulance match, I kind of get called one the other, but trios and three-way are completely different things.
They both involve three.
One involves 6. The other involves 3.
Hey, but that's divisible by 3. You know what? I'm actually gonna give JJ a little props.
Yeah. Let's go etymology. Let's go to the word root here. All right. He will be in a 3-on-3 match with his esteemed tag team partner and one Miss Heidi Howitzer versus Ray Leone, that guy, and what's his manager's name?
Guy.
You got Chance Kerrigan, dude.
No. I am committed. I am all about committed to the bit. Remember, who are you?
That guy.
We have been continuously not knowing who Chance Kerrigan is at Fountain City. It's a thing. I have to stay with it. Okay, long haul.
I appreciate that.
Have I ever told you about the time we actually got that guy over when I was working for Inspire Pro down in Austin years ago?
No.
Oh.
So it was a trios match. It was me and my tag partner at the time. It was actually Moonshine was my tag partner at the time, and then another guy, Cowboy James Claxton, and the other team. The third guy was this dude named Scotty Santiago that had never worked for Inspire before, and he was a newer guy, so a lot of people didn't know him. And on his entrance, I want to say it was Claxton, it might have been Moonshine, but it was one of my partners. He gets in the ring and he just goes, who the fuck is that guy? And during the match, he yelled it loud enough the entire crowd heard it. And during the match, every time Scotty Santiago started mounting some offense, the crowd just started chanting, that guy, that guy, that guy. And it became a gimmick where for the longest time, he was just that guy, Scotty Santiago. And it got over, and it got him over at that company. Just an offhand comment of who the fuck's that guy?
Independent wrestling.
It's Magic Pro Wrestling.
So wonderful.
Great.
So wonderful.
That's so great.
So again, if you want to come join us this Friday evening at the Ball Event Center in Olathe, Kansas, come on down. It is going to be a great time. I mean, we got a lot of great matches on the book there. The main event's going to be some wild scramble with all the big names locally. So, hey, who knows what's going to happen, right? All right. Do you gentlemen have anything else you care to get to this evening?
I do have one small thing on Fountain City before we move on.
Please.
If you don't follow them on social media, go give them a follow on Twitter, Instagram, probably Facebook too.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the flyer with all the matches on it that they put out a few days ago. Because that is top tier pro wrestling promo piece right there. That flyer is rad. So I don't know who made it. If you're listening, great job. That flyer.
With all the different colors. Yeah.
The one that's got the entire match card on it. Like, that thing is rad. So go check it out.
And even if you're not local, go check it out. Give them a follow on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever. You can join their Discord if you want to see like watch-alongs of stuff that they do too. So it's actually good friends, but fantastic. Support your independent wrestlers, support your local wrestling organizations, and support us. So if this is your first time here, we'd like to see you back. We do this every Wednesday, about a half hour-ish after Dynamite is over. You can definitely hit that subscribe button down below. As I said, hit the bell icon to know when we go live, and give us a big thumbs up while you're down there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate the support. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, I might be fuzzy about this, but if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 4 words for you. Please, God, no hook.
Please, Tony. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.